I even went to a fundraiser. Where were we? We were at one of the local businesses. So much fun, spaghetti dinner.
Urusso's?
Yes.
If you want to support a great local business, Urusso's on the east side. It's fabulous.
Oh, we had fun there, and you had a great turnout.
It was a phenomenal turnout. We had about 50-some supporters, and we went from 5 days out, and we planned this thing, and so many people showed up, and it was wonderful.
So what is the best part about running for office?
I think the best part about running for office is just finding out what the people want and realizing how much of an impact that I'm going to have on the community and how much support is out there. I have, well, obviously my husband is one of the most supportive people to allow me to do this. I have a wonderful campaign manager, Brian Naughton, and just the campaign staff is amazing. They are diehard Weidell for state Senate supporters, and just meeting people, getting out and door knocking it's scary, but it's fun at the same time. I
am like the only person in the world who loves to door knock. I love to door knock, and I think it's because I like to talk to people.
I do like to talk to people.
Most of them are nice. You always have a few mean dogs or.
I haven't had a tremendous amount of mean people, but I have had a couple people stop and keep me talking for about 20, 30 minutes, and I'm like, I've got another 1,000 to go, I need to go, but it was really nice talking to you.
Are you doing parades too?
I've done a couple parades, not only for Weidell for State Senate, but also CD4 candidates and obviously the gubernatorial candidate, Emmer. So I've been supporting Teresa Collette and Tom Emmer in addition to my own campaign.
And they're great candidates, and I should say I live in CD4 too, so I've been supporting those candidates as well.
Wonderful.
It's amazing. For so long, people have said the St. Paul and the surrounding suburbs, they just hand them to the Democrats on a silver platter, and they don't realize how many conservative-thinking, liberty-minded people live in CD4.
There are a tremendous amount, and my campaign is trying to contact all of those people and get out the support, specifically in Senate District 67, of course, just to get out there and vote, have your voice be heard.
We need someone to represent us, because you mentioned earlier about the special interests seem to control everything, and we have to have candidates who will look out for us.
Definitely, and we have to look out for the Constitution.
And we're going to stop that. Do you want to talk a little bit about how we've destroyed the Constitution?
Yes,
we've given government too much power.
And there is a way around that. It's called nullification, using the 10th Amendment and reasserting states' rights. That's what we need to do.
You're starting to see more and more states get on board with the 10th Amendment, and Minnesota had, I think, 2 pieces of legislation last year. I call them 10th Amendment legislation, and it's about states' rights. Would you introduce a bill like that?
More than one, yes. Absolutely.
So you're not afraid to be the newcomer?
No, I'm not afraid. I don't know what I'm in for, obviously, because I've never served as an elected official, but I am really interested in trying new things and to make change. I want to make some change at the state level.
The Democrats have been in control of the Minnesota Senate forever. Forever. And I think this year we have a very strong likelihood of throwing a lot of the bums out. And we're going to see a lot of fresh new faces over there. Of course, addressing the budget deficit is going to be one of the first things. Well, let me rephrase that. It's what you should be doing when you first get over to the Capitol, but that isn't always what happens. Frequently, they start the year with bonding bills. What do you think of bonding bills?
I think bonding bills should be addressed after the budgeting. Like you had mentioned, we should be balancing the budget before bonding. There is a time and a place for that. It can be used to get preferred financing rates. But again, we need to balance the budget. We're broke. We shouldn't be looking at bonding.
Exactly right. And so many people don't realize that bonding bill, we have to pay it back, plus interest.
Exactly.
So how are we going to address the deficit?
We need to look at every single line item in that budget. And it's going to take a lot of time and effort, but it needs to be done. I found out through this process that we have almost 10 different departments that deal with water quality and water quality control, which I think is absurd. We need to get in there and figure out how we can standardize processes to make that department more efficient. And that's just one. There are many different agencies out there that can also be trimmed down as well. And we could also go into the public sector versus private sector salaries. Public sector should be making about the same, if not less, since it's taxpayer-funded salaries and benefits, and they're making 60% more than the private sector. It just seems to me that there's no incentive for your average Minnesotan, like most of us, to be working really hard when we could just go and get a taxpayer-funded public sector job and be comfortable once we retire at 40, putting in 20 years. Seems a little unfair.
I'm going to have to get me a government job. Oh, it's incredible how fast government has grown, not only in expense, but into intrusiveness into our lives. When you get over to the Capitol, you're going to see, they give you a stack of books about this big, and it's all the regulations in the state of Minnesota. It's absolutely phenomenal to see these books.
Wow.
Whenever you walk into somebody's office, you can see the books usually on their bookshelf right behind them. They're out of control. Do you think we can streamline more areas of government than just the number of agencies?
I'm sure we can. We can look at different regulations. Minnesota's called the nanny state for a reason. We need to put that control back into the hands of the individuals. I don't need the government telling me common sense solutions. We need to bring common sense back to the people in Minnesota.
But a lot of the people we put into office, they think we're too stupid to make decisions. They think we're stupid on our seatbelts. They think we can't make decisions about if to go into a bar that allows smoking or not. I mean, we could go down the whole entire list. You're going to be fighting a lot of liberals over there. Bring it on.
I do. Yes, exactly. Bring it on. I'm ready for it, and I can take what they can give me because I am smarter than they think I am, and I know the average Minnesotan, and all Minnesotans are smarter than the Senate and the House gives us credit for. So watch out.
Very good, very good. Okay, jobs. What do you think the government should do to, or do you think the government can do anything to increase jobs?
I don't believe the government's function is to create jobs. The government is funded by taxpayers, so they're not producing anything. They are providing a service, but again, it's funded by taxpayers. As much as we can, we should leave a lot of the services that are provided to the private sector. Allow it to be competitive. Let the market work. If an industry is going to fail, if it's not subsidized, let it fail. If it wants to succeed, it's going to have to innovate solutions to keep it afloat and profitable in the market. I say let the market drive the success.
So you wouldn't be voting for bills that want us to use windmills as our main source of energy?
No, I would not. And there's a lot of hazards associated with the windmills. Specifically migratory bird patterns. I'm a hunter. I like to upland hunt with my husband and deer hunt, and just the migratory patterns that are being impacted by these windmill farms isn't even discussed in the news.
You're going to see a big push this year, eminent domain. They want to expand eminent domain, so taking away people's property, so they can build windmills on their property.
I believe the impact of eminent domain needs to be lessened. It's already invasive enough, and it's being interpreted incorrectly. I know the government is even putting in roads where there would never even have been in roads just because they want certain property. So I will absolutely fight to stop that from happening.
The lack of respect for private property rights, I think, is really a concern with any level of government, whether it's the federal government, the state government, or local government. And it's nice to hear someone say something.
Well, I'm a homeowner. We own property, and I don't want somebody coming and telling me that, oh, I'm going to put a road here, or I'm going to put a windmill farm. So bye-bye home.
We don't want that to happen.
Absolutely not.
No. You're a hunter. What do you think about Second Amendment rights?
I am absolutely 100% for Second Amendment and for citizens to have the right to keep and bear arms. I, in fact, applied for my concealed carry just last week.
Fabulous. Excellent.
I did.
We're down to our last few minutes here.
Okay.
And I want you to tell us, why should we vote for you?
Well, you should vote for Krysia Weidell for State Senate and District 67 because I will work hard to ensure that you have more money in your pocket. And that's through reducing these ridiculous taxes, reducing regulations that are making it really difficult for small businesses to operate and thrive. So I am for the average Minnesotan. I'm for all Minnesotans because I am not a politician, but I want to do my best.
And you know we're smart.
I know we're smart. It's a given. We have common sense, and I want people to realize that.
We do. I think politicians tend to underestimate how smart we are and how we can handle our lives better than they can for us, better than any government bureaucrat can. As we wrap up the last few minutes, I want to talk about the top 3 issues you think are facing your district.
Well, my district, the top 3 are lots of jobs, so the high unemployment rate, the high taxes, and then the high foreclosures. The unemployment rate is actually going along with the high number of foreclosures that we have in the district, and then the school closings.
And
education.
what can we do to change that?
We need to bring those businesses back because that will take care of the jobs, that will take care of the education. People will be re-enrolling their children into the school districts, and more jobs means less unemployment, more people buying homes.
And I want you to expand just a little bit on your 10th Amendment ideas.
Well, I want to go in there and I want to find those ridiculous laws that are stripping away our individual liberties, and we want to nullify those.
Another reason we should vote for you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Sue. Yep.
Yes. And now we have to tackle as we wrap up, we have to tackle the biggest problem of all, the deficit.
Absolutely.
What are you going to do to fix it?
I'm going to reduce spending, not raise taxes. I will not raise your taxes.
People are worried about getting their taxes raised.
Yes,
they can't. Whether you're a senior citizen, you can't afford it. If you're a young family just starting out, you can't afford it. People are, like you said, are trying to hang on to their houses.
Yep.
It's crazy.
They're already on the edge. If you raise their taxes, they're going to be pushed over to more unemployment, more foreclosures. If people are stressed out about paying their bills, they may go into work and not be in the right frame of mind, and they may be losing their jobs. It's a domino effect.
And I think one of the things with the unemployment, too, people look at the unemployment number in Minnesota and they say, oh, look how good it is. Well, there are many areas, including the city of St. Paul, where the unemployment is much, much higher than what you see for the Minnesota average.
Oh, yes, absolutely. And I believe it's because a lot of the businesses have left the east side. There aren't jobs. I mean, there's teenagers, college students who want to be working and they can't find the jobs. Because there are no jobs to be had, and they don't have any transportation to get to those jobs.
We're down to our last minute here. Where are they going to find more information on you?
WeidellForStateSenate.com.
Or follow you on Twitter or Facebook?
At Weidell4Senate. Correct.
You make it so easy. And in just a short time here, why should they vote for you?
Because I will fight for your rights, and I will help you keep more money in your wallet so you decide how to spend it, not the government.
Better than any government bureaucrat, we can decide.
Absolutely.
We the people. I wish I could vote for you. I wish I lived in your
district. I wish you could as well, Sue. Thank you.